Well, hey everybody, it's me, Jermaine, and I'm back with another Simple Truth News update. Well, the day has finally come. The day that many people had anticipated, and the results are pretty much exactly what many thought they would be. And I'm talking about the verdict of the grand jury, the results of the grand jury on one Darren Wilson, who brutally and fatally shot and killed one Michael Brown. Now, what we've got going on here, hold on a second, everybody. Gotta get this camera right. All right. What we've got going on here is a situation where it was laid out last night by, I think it was the prosecutor, with all the evidence, and you could tell when the announcement was coming. Again, let me set the stage for you in the scene. Many of you probably already know this. I'm not saying anything to you that you don't already know, but the tenor and the tone was already set prior to this even happening, that the verdict was pretty much going to go the way that it went. All the preparations that went into the Ferguson area, as well as the law enforcement reinforcement. InfoWars reported that there were many special forces type private military contractors that were there to protect the police, I guess, police department, so forth and so on. That's neither here nor say, but what I want to get to on this Simple Truth episode is the understanding of what is going on in this country that we live in today. It is, and it really, the Michael Brown situation is a part of it, but it's not the only focal point. There are so many other instances all across the internet and YouTube of situations where police are making the enemy those that they are supposed to serve and protect. There was just another incident that happened here in my state, here in Ohio, up in Cleveland, Ohio, where a 12-year-old was shot and killed. Now, I mean, I didn't get into the full details of everything, but at first report of things that I did read, the 12-year-old did possess a firearm. But it just goes to show you that we as individuals that are out here are becoming the enemy to the powers that be, or to the law enforcement. It's utterly ridiculous how the circumstances and the situations that always arise are that of the police had no other choice. And this is no slight against any law enforcement officer that is out there trying to do the right thing. But there are so many out there that are giving those that are doing the right thing a bad name, that it's almost like being painted with a broad brush, that everyone that is in law enforcement is suffering the consequences of the bad actions of a great number of police officers and law enforcement. So back to this situation with Darren Wilson and the Michael Brown incident. The prosecutor reads the information, and when he reads the information, it sounds good. It really and truly, sounds like they did their due diligence, and things with all the evidence that was presented that this decision, although many may not like the decision, was a just decision. But here's a simple truth perspective on that. You have to ask yourself the question, how many times has evidence seemed to be right when it comes to people's guilt or innocence, and later on discovered after independent investigations, after time and emotions have calmed down, and it's looked at again that, whoa, wait a minute, something's not right here. Because see, those that are bringing forth the forensic evidence are the same ones that are in cahoots with those that are doing the dirty deed. So it's very important that we understand that we literally have become, number one, a police state. That's a given. If you know, all you have to do is just look around. 911, the calling system, 911 was that was, here we are as far as a police state. It really created and gave more power to the police state. But as individuals, this is not a time that we should look at this as a means of as we're victims, or that, it really pains me when I hear this movement, this hands up movement, this submissive attitude. Now, the attitude should be that of, I'm going to do whatever is necessary to preserve my individual well-being and not depend on any agency or any officer of the law. I'm going to do whatever's necessary to preserve myself and preserve those that I love and I care for. It's just a literal shame. And then the last thing that I want to share, the last perspective, the simple truth perspective on this is all of this nonsensical destruction of private property because of anger, operating in anger and other emotions. It's just as I said, it's nonsensical. What is tearing up these storefronts and these different businesses? What is it going to accomplish and what is it going to gain? The simple truth of the whole matter is that we need to be more informed. We need to do what is necessary to preserve ourselves and our families. And we need the Most High. That's first and foremost, top of the list. This has been the simple truth. And as I always tell you, it's the simple things that are oftentimes the most profound, but yet they're the most difficult to put into practice and to actually do. I want to thank you for joining me, and I'll be sure to see you and you again real soon on another episode. Darren Wilson, no indictment.